Hello, welcome to When the Smoke Clears. I am the Recovery Plug. What's going on today? Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you guys are doing great. I know my day's going great. I'm out here at the outdoors. I figured that today, for today's video, I'd use this as my background. Nice mural painted. Somebody painted this thing downtown, and it is a San Antonio street art. It's got a little label over there, so I guess that's who painted it. And yeah, so it's a nice painting, right? But I decided to use this as my background today, and just to come to you guys to, today's Sunday, and what better day to talk about a little something about conviction and condemnation in the world of adversity, in the world of addiction, and to see how that type of thought process kind of moves your life forward in moving past an addiction, or moving past an adversity, moving past childhood trauma, moving past any type of trauma that you perhaps are going through. I know for myself, I have dealt with alcohol addiction, drug addiction, suicidal thoughts, depression, anger issues, depression, PTSDs, childhood traumatic experiences. So my world of adversity, my trials and tribulations is a pretty long list, you know what I mean? And through the condemnation of the world we live in today, and the things that we are condemned, in a sense, until we decide that we want a different life, right? And it could be any way, shape, or form to move in that direction. For some people, it may be being saved by Jesus. For some people, it may be, going into a Buddhist religion. For some people, it may be, dedicating their life to the Islamic religion, or it doesn't matter to me, in my opinion, what road or what path you take. If you want conviction, then you'll have to put in the work, in a sense of faith-based work ethic, I guess. And so to me, I do a lot of research, I do a lot of talking, I do a lot of studying on different types of religion, and I read a lot and try to listen to other people's opinions in their podcasts and that sort of thing. And here's one thing that I found out is every religion, doesn't matter what it is, they all believe that there is one divine presence, if you will. So how you get to that divine presence and how you accept that divine presence into your life, people got different interpretations of that. I personally I follow my foundation in that retrospect is, I believe that my God sent someone down to give his life for me, you know what I mean, and for you. So that's my base of my recovery, you know what I mean. So it doesn't mean that I don't believe in any of the other religions, because I do believe in them because they exist, number one, and I believe that each one of them has a couple of golden nuggets in their traditions, in their in how they practice, that I personally use in my own journey. You know what I mean? A lot of religions and a lot of faith-based communities use meditation, they use prayer, they use chanting, and I use all of those, so I incorporate all of those in my daily life. So there, in turn, I believe that everybody has a little golden nugget to help the next person, you know what I mean? And I think it's like that because I believe that we are all one and the same. We are all one and the same with each other, with the universe, with everything around us. And I believe that it's that way because we're supposed to help one another. We're supposed to help that person who is lacking, that person who needs the guidance. And if I, in my own personal journey, have gone through all these adversities and have been able to come out of it and having the second chance at living a quote unquote normal productive life, I don't intend to waste it. I intend to, instead of ingraining all this negative and fearful thought process into my head the way I was doing it when I was in the addiction, I can now do it in a different way by helping somebody, by learning from by learning from different people, from different faith-based communities, from different things that I read, and in turn they're sharing all of that knowledge that I get combined with all of my experiences and adversities to help somebody else. Because I don't believe that I get the second chance just to savor the life alone. You know what I mean? I believe that I got the second chance so that I can help somebody else, because I once stood in a meeting of 60, 70 people, heard a guy's story, and because that guy professed his adversities and his experiences and professed them with conviction. You know what I mean? He wasn't up there speaking and talking and spilling his guts out because he was getting paid for it, because he was reading a script. No, this guy was genuinely giving his experience that took him from being condemned to having conviction and being able to express a story that has helped them to move along past an adversity, to move along from breaking a couple of chains that kept him bound down, whatever that was. And I believe that if you have a second chance like I have, from being bound down to an addiction for years, for dealing with trauma for years, and it doesn't go away. The trauma, the adversities, all of that stuff doesn't go away. It's not like it doesn't exist anymore. It's in the past, yes, but it can surface. It's a dormant door of condemnation that could be open at any time. So long that I let the fearful, negative, and dark thoughts enter my subconscious mind, and turn there, I open that door of condemnation and close it back down on me. Then I get back into the depression, I get back into the anger, I get back into the PTSDs, I get back into the addiction, and it is because of the conviction of my divine higher power, I'm able to stay out. I'm able to share a story. I'm able to let whatever positive and spiritual thought processes go into my subconscious mind and turn there, give a positive and beautiful action. You know what I mean? So it is... I just wanted to come out today and share this background with you guys and share a story of something that hit me today, this morning, when I went to the church that I attend. And for me, that was City Tribe. City Tribe's a great church, man. Bunch of great people out there, and it was just a message that I felt was a message that I needed to share on this podcast so that someone else can hear it. You know what I mean? Somebody else needs to hear that word of encouragement. Somebody else needs to hear that if you are bound down to some chain that keeps you bound down and you can't get out of, whether it's dealing with your relationship, whether it's dealing with something at your job, whether it's dealing with an addiction, whether it's dealing with alcoholism, whether it's dealing with childhood traumatic experiences, any of those types of adversities, it is one thing to hear all of these stories and get all of this feed that's positive and keep it to myself. Yes, when you are trying to get out of adversity, it is good to be selfish because you have to be. You have to be in the early stages of trying to get past that adversity. You have to be selfish because you have to concentrate on you. But when you get past it like I have, then it's your obligation, it's your duty to do things on a repetitive basis, whether they're faith-based, whether they're, spiritual connection, divine power, and share it with somebody. You know what I mean? And that's the whole purpose of doing this podcast, is to share my story, to tell my experiences, to share so that somebody else can move past. So somebody else can get that nudge if they need it. You know what I mean? Because I know that when I sat in a meeting one day and heard this guy spill his guts out, that was the story that I need to hear. That was the story that allowed me to move past the addiction that I was in. You know what I mean? And if I had not been in that room that day, it's a good possibility that I'd still be out in the world of addiction. I could still be in that fearful, negative, and dark thought process. And by the grace of God, I'm here being able to do a video podcast and share my story with you guys. You know what I mean? So it's just great. I'm encouraged. I'm just grateful that I'm able to just get all of this, all of these different. What I call them is I get all of these different golden nuggets from just different stories, different things that I run into through my daily life. And if it helps me in some sort of way, if it moves me spiritually, if it moves me emotionally, I use that. I grab that and I put it into what I call my recovery arsenal. My recovery arsenal is loaded, man. It's loaded. Like my grandson says, that when he's playing his game on the PlayStation, he goes, Dad, Grandpa, I'm loaded. I'm loaded, Popo. He calls me Popo. He said, Popo, I'm loaded, man. He goes, don't mess with me right now because I'm loaded. Because he's got all this stuff in his arsenal. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with being out here and it's the same thing with being out here and trying to share a story. You might hear all this traffic around me because I'm out here in the street. You know what I mean? It's hot out here. But I'm out here because I want to share a story with you because I believe you need to hear it. You know what I mean? And if not you, maybe somebody that you know needs to hear it. So it's great if you at this time, if you give me a thumbs up, if you hit that subscribe button, and if you shoot me a comment, whatever. You know what I mean? I would greatly appreciate that so that we can share the message with somebody else. You know what I mean? And just know that when you do hit that subscribe button, it doesn't cost you a thing. But just know that when you do that, you're helping out another veteran, another homeless person, another person dealing with PTSDs, childhood traumatic experiences, drug addiction, alcoholism, depression, suicidal thoughts, anger issues, sadness. Because I, my friends, have dealt with all of those things at one point in time in my life. And here's the kicker, man. I know a way out. I know a way out. And that's why I share the stories, because if I heard it from somebody and their story helped me, then why not share it? I would be doing myself and you guys a disservice if I wouldn't share something so valuable. You know what I mean? I'm just grateful that I'm able to do that. And to be out here today, man, check this out. I was over... a friend of mine shows up at the house and he's like, dude, I know that you've been taking the public transportation and that sort of thing, and I want you to come have breakfast with me. So we went and had breakfast. We went to take the service in at the church, and he goes, here, man, I'm going to throw you these keys, the keys to my scooter, so that you don't have to take that bus anymore. He goes, you could have it. And I was just kind of, thrown off by it, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't expecting it, but I was like, God, it's a blessing for me because I don't have to take the public transportation. I could just zoom around in this scooter, which is really fun at that. And so one of the first things I did, I rode down here to get in front of this thing back here behind me because I thought it was just a cool picture, and so that you guys can see it, so I could share a story with you. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So today's Sunday, so I figured I'd just elaborate on what I heard over at the church, and I figured somebody could hear it. Somebody needed to hear that message, besides myself. And so yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video, man. I really appreciate you guys, you guys who subscribe to my channel, man. Thank you so much. The whole purpose of doing this podcast is to share a message, to somebody who thinks that the end of the road is today. Somebody who thinks that, how do I get the help? There's no way I could get the help because I'm homeless. I'm sitting here on this park bench and I can't get it. I'm sitting in this motel room with, all this negativity going on around me. How do I get that help? There's no hope for me. But I'm here to tell you there is hope, my friends, because I have personally been in all those situations. I've been homeless in the street. I've been sleeping on the park benches. I've been in the tent communities. I've been living in one motel to the next, living in one bando to the next, living in that chaotic world of darkness, fearful, negative, and dark thought processes. Man, I've been there. So I'm just here to tell you, to just share a message with you today that there is hope. There is hope. All you got to do is start right here. Allow that negative, fearful, dark thought process to be replaced with positive and spiritual thoughts. In turn, there you get these positive and spiritual actions. You know what I mean? So I just thank you for listening, man. I'm going to probably cut the video off now because the train is back there. I can hear it. I don't know if you can. You probably can. But yeah, so I really appreciate you guys watching today. I just wanted to get on, give you guys this short video to kind of, give a little pep talk, maybe, share a story, and in hopes that somebody needed to hear that today, Sunday, man. So check this out. God bless you guys and everything that you do. I pray for each and one of you out there, and I hope that I'll see you on this side of recovery, positivity, and faithful, just beautiful things. I just hope that the divine energies of Mother Earth and the divine power of our God reaches you today. And yeah, so I guess that's going to be it for this episode of When the Smoke Clears. I hope you guys enjoyed this mural back here behind me. That's one of my things, is I always like to choose a different background. I want something kind of to pop out to the audience, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know what I mean? But at any rate, it's hot out here. I gotta get the heck out of here, man. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, please subscribe to the channel, share it. I really appreciate it. And I guess until the next time on When the Smoke Clears, I am the Recovery Plug.